Good morning, Berk. Robbie Shoemaker here. It's about 2:30 in the morning, trying to wrap up from obviously a very long day, but didn't want to miss the chance to try to capitalize on this opportunity and the options of whether or not we should consider owner financing versus leasing or doing nothing at all. And I think in this market right now, based on the limited amount of buyers out there, I really think that we should strongly consider owner financing. I believe it's probably our best bet right now if we can bring this guy along. What I did is took the opportunity to put together an amortization schedule. It is based on $600,000, 10% down, which would bring us to a balance of $540,000 being the principal. 12 payments a year, of course, annual interest rate of 8%, and amortized over 30 years with a 5-year balloon. Based on those numbers, the monthly payment would be $3,962. In 5 years, the cumulative interest that will have been paid at that point would be $211,116, and the amount of interest that would be applied towards the note or the principal would be $26,622. Based on those scenarios at this time, I think that that's a pretty good option and something that we should definitely strongly consider. Lease rates right now, I just did a search, and of course I already done the search whenever we put this entire thing together. I feel like we did price it decent. Nothing is selling in this market regardless unless it's distressed, bank owned. I was looking at what you had in the property. Of course, I don't know what you had in the building and everything, but I can't imagine that you definitely had over 600, not when you built it. I think you had 120 in the land, if I remember correctly, just thinking off the top of my head. And then, whatever it costs to build that building, whether it be 300,000 or so. So maybe you got 420 in it, something like that. The gentleman did go down and looked at it this afternoon. I tried getting a hold of him. We kept crossing paths. We couldn't meet up. The first thing that he's going to do is go in there and he's going to look at it and he's going to say what you already did. Well, I've got to go in there, finish off the offices and close them. Because that's never been done. If he's going to lease that property, first thing he's going to do is look to you as a landlord to give some incentive and build out all those offices. The way this market is, you're probably going to have to give him free rent for X number of months. And then now you're looking at a lease of whether it be 2 years, 3 years, whatever it might be, regardless of whatever that lease period is. In 3 years, 4 years, I don't think that property is going to be really worth any more than it is today. Not with what I'm seeing. I'm seeing over the next 2 to 3 years, commercial property going down. This economy that we're in, I think we're in about a 15-year recovery to get back where prices were, where they were in 2005. All the statistics that I've seen and the charts and the graphs and the trends and everything I've been watching for this area, this farm area, not all over the country, but where we're at. I mean, that's just where I see things at right now. If we can capture this buyer, who is a strong buyer, very good guy, usually has pretty good cash flow, has an excellent business, very big village contractor. There's not many of them out there buying. They're closing up shop every single day, and the big wigs around the villages, they're buying up all these little companies and they're shutting down. And so what used to be out there for manufacturing and industrial, it's just continuing to dwindle. If we can capture this guy at $600,000 and owner finance it, when it's all said and done, you're going to make $800,000. You're going to be making 8% on your money. You're not going to have the headache of worry about the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, taking care of the place. It's going to be out of your hair. You're just going to be receiving a check every month. And worst case scenario, Berk, is if this thing goes back to you in a couple years, you're going to have an improved property. You're going to have the offices finished because that's the way that this gentleman does things. And then on top of that, you're going to have $60,000 down minimum. And then you're going to be making, give me just a second. I'm just running through these numbers here. So you're going to be making over $40,000 a year on top of that. So worst case scenario, you're going to have an improved property, $100,000. It's going to come back to you, and we'll just sell it again. In this market, I just can't stress enough that I would highly advise you to hold the note on it. That's what we're seeing a lot of people do right now to make up the difference for the money they've lost. You're in a good position because you don't have money lost. You're going to still make some money on this piece of property. I would value the land right now, which this is probably going to shock you. But really, I guess it's going back to where it was in 2002, and it's even going back before then, before this thing's all said and done. But I value it no more, definitely no more than $15,000 an acre right now. I've had a piece there right next to you that I've been trying to sell for a while, and the gentleman's wanting to hold on to it for $25,000, and that's just not selling. I sold land last year, the highest, heaviest industrial category you could get in Sumter County, and that was at $19,500 an acre. And that was over a year ago, so the prices have dropped even more since then. You know, you're looking at $180,000 for the land or thereabouts, maybe a little bit more of the 0.6 acres. I didn't add that in, but roughly you're saying, you know, you can do the building for $400,000, the asphalt and everything. I can't imagine you've got that much in it, or more than that in it for sure. I know you've done a lot of improvements to the property, but if we can capture this buyer at $600,000, getting to put some money down, you hold note, make even more money over the term. I don't know much things that you're going to make 8% on your money right now. It might be good to have that money all up front cash to be able to move it into something else. But that's not what we're really seeing out there. Somebody's going to come in and hand you cash. They're going to say, here's cash. You're asking $675,000. Here's an offer of $450,000. And I just think it would be a good opportunity. So that's my 2 cents, anyways, for what it's worth at 12:30 in the morning. I wish you well. Hope you have a great weekend. Maybe I'll get an answer from you today, if not tomorrow. And just consider the things I've said. Bounce something back to me. Shoot me an email. If you think I'm off on anything, let me know. But I think with right now, this is where the current market is. And I appreciate the opportunity to work with you. The buyers out there are very few and far between. And when we get somebody like this on the hook, I think we need to capitalize on it, move forward. Otherwise, we're going to look back 5 months from now, 6 months from now, and go, why didn't we do that? And I've seen that happen multiple times in this market. So let's not make that mistake. Let's capture this buyer, and let's move forward. And this thing's going to be off your books. I appreciate it, and give me a call. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.